Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. We got some breaking news on the XRP Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. And fun story, I was actually laying in my bed and I saw this pop up over on Twitter. I came out instantly to quickly make a video about it, and now I have a big debate. Am I gonna post this as soon as humanly possible, or am I going to take my time and it'll take an hour? Big debate, I'm just going to check, but make sure you press the freaking like button if you are enjoying the daily crypto content. I already told you guys this was going to be big, and I just read a good chunk of it. Oh, it is juicy again, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to start out with some backstory and then get right into the letter. Otherwise, you can go over to Twitter and get the letter for yourself. And a little summary, it's pretty bullish, it's pretty nice, mostly because John Deaton knows how to defend this motion to intervene. So a little bit of backstory. Here, what happened a little while ago, really good while ago actually, is there was a lawsuit from the SEC against Ripple. And basically what turned out is that Ripple is being accused of selling some unregistered securities, some investment contracts. Now, throughout that little journey, what we found out as XRP community, we noticed that, well, Ripple is being accused of doing something wrong, but in the end, the SEC should protect our best interests as we are investors, and there you go, the US SEC's mission is to protect those. Now, what they're doing, though, with suing Ripple is losing us $15 billion. That's what they basically lost in a couple of days because of the suing. So, well, since they did that, they didn't really protect us. And since Ripple is being sued for kind of screwing us over, Ripple, in theory, is not protecting XRP holders, they're protecting Ripple, the company. So we kind of noticed that nobody was really protecting our interests as XRP community, and that's again where John Deaton decided to step in and actually say, you know what? I'm going to make it so that anybody who wants to can sign up, and together we'll try to intervene into this lawsuit and also represent ourselves as the XRP community. So, a good little while, he applied for that. He got the thumbs up basically. He put up his motion to intervene, and then a couple weeks later, Ripple and the SEC obviously replied and gave their thoughts on what John Deaton basically said in this motion to intervene. So at this point, there were 16,000 people who co-signed basically this motion. By right now, I have no idea how many there are, but I'm assuming a lot more than 16,000. So back then, when Ripple gave the response to the motion and the SEC gave the response to the motion, he had a lot to say about them. He's also said, I read the response, and he gave some comments. Well, there's a pretty big thread of comments if you actually check it out. For example, let me quickly see. If I press it right here, I think there's an entire thread here of what he said about Ripple intervening into this lawsuit, and it was definitely interesting. Because the conclusion here is Ripple was actually supporting this motion. And later on, we'll actually notice that Ripple utilizes this motion in their own argumentation because John Deaton did some good digging. And I mean, we cannot lie. I mean, he definitely has had some help, as you most likely already saw here. He had a lot of help from, some really skilled people in the field. So from that perspective, you can't give him too much credit because he got a lot of help. You can see them sitting right there, his whole full legal team. So yeah, but he definitely wrote some facts and some fire he was basically spitting because, well, even Ripple was excited about it. And Ripple really mentioned him quite often throughout the last couple of days and, actually weeks already because of what John Deaton has been saying. He's been quoted. By the way, guys, if you're watching this far, let me quickly know right now, do you think XRP will actually... No, let's say it differently. Do you think Ripple will win this lawsuit? Do you think XRP will be deemed a non-security in the end of things? And again, are you guys excited about XRP? Yes or no? Let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you haven't done so already, make sure you press the freaking like button and help out the channel by a little subscribe thingy with the notification bell on. Right? I try to post as quickly as I can, all the most important updates, so make sure you show a little bit of support as well for all that type of stuff. So here you can see that the SEC also added a document, and basically the first one here is Ripple responding, saying, hey, we're really excited about it. That's basically the conclusion of all of it. And then the second one is basically the SEC responding, and to be honest, how can you say that? It's basically a back and forth because what John Deaton is saying makes a lot of sense, and what the SEC is saying is not making a lot of sense to me, but most likely a lot of sense to them, right? And I mean, I'm an investor. I'm not from the US, but I'm still, I'm kind of feeling as if I were to be in the US and I'd fall under the SEC's reign. I kind of feel as if they're trying to mess me up with what they're writing. Why is that so? Well, if you check a little bit further into what everybody's been messaging here, John Deaton, for example, says, when you resort to attacking the messenger and not the message, you've lost the debate. Because what they actually did was they went after John Deaton specifically. So John Deaton pulled up a motion to intervene, just basically saying, hey, we want to enter into the lawsuit because of these reasons. Some of them are attacking the SEC, but some of them are also just valid topics as to why we are not being represented properly. And the SEC went to really go ham. And trust me when I say that, they went ham on John Deaton on his own. Thinking Crypto also posted here, what is going on? Congress needs to step in here. This is getting out of hand. As the SEC says, this is getting juicy, that XRP holders are compelling it to bring enforcement action against them. And John Deaton is basically doing this crusade here, starting the crusade against the government for clout. Twitter clout is what they actually said. Movements are essentially seeking to compel the SEC to bring an enforcement action against individual secondary market XRP investors, once more for clout. And I'm quite amazed by everything that's happening right here. It's definitely interesting because Ripple also wants the XRP holders to intervene. The SEC insists that XRP holders' interests are already adequately represented by Ripple. And that's funny, right? Because the SEC literally says, well, we are supposed to protect you from Ripple. And then they're saying, well, XRP holders' interests are already adequately represented by Ripple. This is like a loop. They're trying to find a loophole in some way, shape, or form because this doesn't make no. I don't want to say that. I don't want to curse on the channel. This doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make any motherfucking sense to me at all. They're saying, no, we're going to stop Ripple's operations because they're trying to mess you up, guys. We are protecting the investors here by costing you $15 billion. Oh, but wait, no, but they are protecting. Not us. We're not protecting. They are supporting and protecting you. No, we're not doing that. We're here first. Oh, wait a minute. What are the SEC here for then? Huh? If Ripple is representing our interests, then what is the SEC here for? What is their plan? I don't get that. I don't get that at all. However, in its own response, the distributed ledger technology provider writes that the movements should be allowed to intervene in the case since they have strong and distinct interest in XRP's regulatory status. And yeah, it's pretty big deal. Now, there's also another part where a lot of people were actually really scared that this motion to intervene, if you signed up for it, for example, that if things went bad, that you were going to, get some really big sanctions against you. And John Deaton quickly made a response saying, I have more than a few DMs asking about that. What would happen basically if they were intervening and they would actually lose the lawsuit. Now, there's 6 named proposed interveners. That's the official guys. I have alleged, along with those 6 named ones, and all other similarly situated, the 17-ish thousand people that have signed up to join are not officially in the case. The 6 named interveners are not yet in the case for that matter. I have informed the court that I represent a putative class of 12,000 plus. It has grown a lot since then. If we win the motion to intervene, which again could happen really soon here, then that doesn't mean everyone that signed up is a defendant in the case. In order to be a defendant in the case, the judge would have to certify a class, i.e. class action, and before she did that, people would have an opportunity to choose to be in the class or not, and you would have the choice. Regarding sanctions, sanctions are only ordered by the judge, not the SEC. Unfortunately, some people are now under the impression that the SEC can punish them and issue sanctions against them for signing up, and this is not true. A judge would only be considering sanctions if the SEC asked for sanctions against XRP holders. And the SEC would have to publicly ask for sanctions against the retail investors they are sworn to protect. Not sure Gensler wants that publicity. But even if the SEC hypothetically wanted to ask for something so absurd, only the judge could order sanctions against anyone. And ask yourself this question. Do you really think a judge is going to order sanctions against XRP holders? Why? Because we asked to intervene to protect our interests? That would mean that in this case, the judge says, yes, I agree with you, and I will allow you to intervene to protect your interests, but then later turns around and issues sanctions against people, the same people that she agreed had a right to intervene in the first place. As of right now, the SEC isn't asking for sanctions against Ripple, let alone retail holders of XRP. The SEC is seeking to the disgorgement of the gains realized by Ripple and the 2 executives and pay civil penalties under Section 20D, which applies to control persons, and prohibit Ripple, Brad, and Chris from offering digital securities in the future, digital asset securities. I hope this explains things for people. Please know that if you have submitted your name but now wish to be removed for any reason, it's also perfectly fine. I wanted to quickly make this known because I thought a lot of people might be still afraid about that one or thinking about that. There was a thread about it and I remembered. Then moving on, again, he's got a lot of support, so don't forget that. It's not only John, right? There's a big team behind him. You can see them all in this picture. Okay, and then we go to the juicy part. Again, I saw it when it was like 1 minute old. Right now we're 28 minutes in because I spent like maybe 10 minutes. No, let's say I spent 1 minute maybe to get out of bed. I'm going to say, no, it's not 20 minutes. It's maybe 10 minutes to just quickly read through and get a little bit of a gist of it because I already know. All right, I already know what he was going to write. I already knew what was kind of coming up because it's not that difficult to understand. That's why I said you have to, really stick around for my video here because I knew what was going to be coming up and I already kind of introduced you guys to it. Reply memo to the SEC's opposition to our motion to intervene is filed. I'm assuming another one is, by the way, coming to the, basically as a response to Ripple, but maybe I'll already be asleep then. I'll make another video, tomorrow, just as a good summary for all the people that didn't even get to watch this one, or if some new stuff comes out throughout the night here. Let's quickly see. So, United States District Court, yada, 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 19 pages. Let's quickly look through this, and I'll give you guys a gist. Table of authorities, preliminary statements, argument. XRP holders are not constitutionally or statutorily barred from intervening. Now, you might wonder, is this legal stuff all important? Yes, very much so. Why? Well, on its own, the arguments themselves are not maybe that relevant because these are usual responses, but it's about what's in them, right? And the reason he put up these are obviously because the SEC said the exact opposite here. The SEC was looking at all that John Deaton said in his motion to intervene, and they tried to say, well, all you're saying is not true, and you're out of place. Once more, this is, I believe, from the SEC. Yeah, this is again what the SEC was saying, that they're constitutionally and statutorily barred from investing. It's just basically, again, thinking about it, everything that the SEC said back then, but then the other way around. That's again what John Deaton is going for here. XRP's holders' intervention does not broaden the SEC's claims. Once more, that's again what they're saying. It's going to be broadened and everything, and so forth and so on. They're basically saying, hey, that's not the case, right? So once more, John Deaton is just looking at all the things that the SEC stated and trying to, again, dismiss all of those. The SEC is attacking the messenger because it can't attack the message. That one on its own is really interesting, but it's also, having a good part of truth. A lot of what the SEC is saying is John Deaton is just doing this because he wants some clout, and the XRP army is just looking for some, terrorizing. XRP holders meet the standard to intervene as of right. That is not that interesting, I would say. XRP holders clearly have a cognizable interest in the case, and XRP holders' interests are not adequately represented. This is something we can already think about ourselves, right? I'm not sure how a judge can actually rule against this, just logically speaking, because the XRP community literally is the only entity kind of that can represent the XRP community. Ripple doesn't do it, the SEC doesn't do it. It's the easiest logic in this world. And then 5, permissive intervention should be granted. For 3 reasons, or basically ABC. Permitting XRP holders to intervene does not sow chaos into this lawsuit. I would agree, because Ripple also said, hey, come in, because it's logical. B, intervention would not cause any undue delay. One of the SEC points was saying, well, this lawsuit, we want to get it done as soon as possible. Ripple wants to get it done as soon as possible. And an intervention would make it, last a little bit longer. Why? Because they're not really adding anything. It's just going to make it longer for no reason. And then they also put up an argument that there's so many interveners or interveners that want to come on in. It would just keep indefinitely stalling this lawsuit. And C, interveners provides necessary and valuable information. We saw that Ripple agreed with that, and John has a lot of information to share and a lot of questions to ask, basically, that Ripple hasn't done because, well, it's not really Ripple's field to ask some of the questions that, John Deaton and the XP community basically do have. And then page number 15, there's a conclusion. Let's quickly scroll down all the way and check this conclusion out real quick. I'm not sure if there's actually too much in there. I didn't check it. Despite distraction tactics deployed in the SEC's opposition, it has essentially conceded that XRP holders satisfy 2 of the 4 factors considered for intervention as of right. XRP holders have satisfied the 2 remaining factors. Intervention will cause no delay. Finally, the SEC cannot demonstrate any unfair prejudice that warrants denying intervention. XRP holders respectfully request that the motion to intervene be granted, and even though I'm not a lawyer, even though I have no experience with the law whatsoever, specifically not American law, this looks like fire. I'm really freaking excited to see this, guys, and I'm not sure if the price is going to react in a logical way, but once more, if we were to follow logic, this should be extremely, extremely bullish for XRP on the basis that it's just a really beautifully built document, and I don't think there's any way in which this will be denied by a judge. It is too logical. If I, as a non-lawyer, can just look at this and find all logic, like 100% logic, then the judge must find that too. I could not understand how anybody could ever rule against this. And again, I'm trying to think about this unbiased. What if I were a bystander, I wouldn't have any XRP? What would I think? Well, I would think the SEC really doesn't represent them, nor does Ripple, so they have to come on in. And again, if you think about delay and all that type of stuff, that's all a little bit debatable, I would say. I would definitely say it's all debatable. But the fact that they're not being properly represented and that they would add something to the case is 100% certain. I think a freaking goose could see that. So I'm not sure why I said a goose, but I guess a goose could also see it. He wouldn't understand it, but he could see it. I hope he could understand it. I really hope so. Could he? No, I don't think so. Yeah, but in the end, it's just a bullish document. Let's put it like that. It's a bullish document. It's looking really juicy. And it's nice that we got a little update. I've been trying to, update myself as soon as possible, as you guys most likely already know. I shared it on Twitter almost instantly when I saw it too. Let me quickly see. Yeah, I put it on Twitter almost instantly. Now the question is, how is the SEC going to, take this? Whew. How is Ripple going to take this? And is there another response coming to Ripple? I think so. All right. Once more, I'm here so quickly that sometimes, I guess I'm too quick because the news is not completely, filled potentially. But I'm assuming another document versus Ripple is also coming to basically just added our document memorandum of law for Ripple opposing. No, it's not it. No, okay. I was just quickly checking. Maybe it was already out there, but no, it's only this one against the SEC. Maybe it could be 2 in 1. No, I don't think so, though. I think it should be 2 separate documents. They have to show some support for Ripple's side and then one opposing the SEC. If I'm wrong, that could definitely be so. But then you'll see a video of it tomorrow. In a couple of hours from right now. I need to take a little quick nap and then wake back up and get you guys another, piece of content. I'm not sure how I'm going to schedule all these videos for right now, though, because I have so much stuff to talk about. Not exactly sure what I should do, but you'll see. You're right. You'll see the video pop up maybe in a couple of hours from now. Again, this is already recorded exactly when it came out, as you most likely know, but it might take me 2 hours to actually get everything done and running. I will check. I'll make sure you guys get it as soon as possible, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care and have a very nice freaking day.